Hello once again everyone, how are we doing today, and welcome back to what will be episode 2 of Motorsport Manager with Team Full Send Racing. I released the first episode yesterday. It was a bit of a long one because I had to go through making the team, through all the decisions that I made. So if you want to check out that, just simply check my channel or check the playlist this will eventually end up in. Now, I've decided to get episode 2 out so quick after episode 1 because 1, I've got the spare time and it's been a whole load of fun, but 2, because of this comment which I'm sure I will edit in post, so don't forget to do that, Aaron. But this comment here saying that they would like a full playthrough means it's definitely going to become a reality. Now, if you missed part 1 or for whatever reason you can't remember what occurred in part 1, let me run you through things just as the game loads up. We went to the Black Sea GP, or as I called it, the not Sochi or the broken stiletto GP, and we had a surprisingly good result there. We defied all expectations and we scored a decent haul of points, which was 17 points, which for a backmarker team finishing in both P12 and P13, that's absolutely fantastic for us. I was absolutely blown away. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that we are currently sat, if we check the standings, in P6, I think it was. Yeah, in P6 after the first round. Now, we know this won't last because, frankly, we are the worst team on the grid, but a few more performances where we get possibly 15 points in a Grand Prix and we might not finish last in this year's championship. So, on to episode 2, and what needs to be done today is, well, we need to advance a day to design our new brakes, and then, if I very quickly skip that, we need to then work on the performance and the reliability of said brakes, because if we can get them done for the next GP, which is the Munich GP, we're in with a shout of actually again not coming last, because we will have not good brakes but just not as bad brakes that aren't made of biscuits. So that'll be a good shout. I'll just quickly answer this interview question, then I'll be back straight after that. So just real quick with the pit crew, I've only made one change because frankly the pit crew did a good enough job in the last event that I can keep them on. The only change I've actually made is to the front jack, which was originally this fella here, Mr. Nikolai, great German name there, for Garat, who will take over on the front jack. He is 1 point worse, but he is full stamina, so less chance of a mistake. So to me, that's completely worth the change. And excellent news, our brakes have finally been finished. And here they are, lovely new brakes. We are jumping from a performance score of 2, which is frankly no brakes at all, to 13 with a maximum potential of 37. They're still not particularly good brakes. They're not what I would call world beating. I mean, I'm sure we still have the worst brakes on the grid, but they're better than nothing. Graded from a biscuit to a slice of bread, which I'm absolutely chuffed with. Now, before they can go on the car, we do need, once the car's been repaired of course, we do need to improve their reliability, because anything that's under about 60% will probably break, so we can't put it on the car, which is not ideal, of course. So first things first, work on the reliability, work on the performance, and let's put all of our eggs into the reliability basket just to try and push it above about 60 to 65% for the start of the race so we can indeed actually run these improved brakes. And onto some brand new sponsor offers, and if anybody had forgotten what this car looks like, which frankly, this car is so bright, I am sure it is ingrained into your brains and in your dreams. You wake up screaming thinking about this ugly ass car. But we've got some brand new sponsors for slot 2, which is our fixed pay per race sponsor, and frankly I think I might see what comes up later down the line because they're not particularly great. If I was to pick one of these two, it would probably have to go with the upfront 450, because if I do some quick maths, which is not my strong suit, we get 900,000 from Maxwell's, and we get, I think we actually get more from Maxwell's overall, but I like the upfront. But either way, they're not great spot sponsors. They made me do mathematics, so I'm not siding with either of them. I've skipped forward a few days, ladies and gents, and we've been offered a new sponsorship from Rssia Nails, which frankly is even worse than the last two, so there's not a chance. I mean, the logo even looks as if it's been drawn by a 12-year-old in a art class, but we shan't judge them on that. What we will judge them on is their pitiful offer. Just one more quick update before I believe we actually go to Germany to try and improve on the position that we had to begin with. And the brakes are up to 79% reliability, which means we can put them on the car. Now, whether we put them onto Faith's car or Andre's car is still yet to be decided. But since Andre, I believe, did get the better finishing position in the last race, I might go with him as our lead, not so lead driver, because at the end of the day, I do believe these two are on equal footing, so we can't really show any preference. But this first upgrade will definitely go onto Andre's car for the Munich GP. So here we are again on the pre-race sponsorship screen, and once again we're not breaking into the top 10. I mean, the fact that we came 12th with Andre at the Black Sea was next to an absolute work of God as it was. So I don't think picking anybody but Rssia, which I'm sure are a good airline, maybe. Hopefully the cars won't crash into the sea before we even get there, but we will have to pick them again. Fingers crossed we can land that 75 grand bonus. It's not much, but it helps. Every bit of extra cash we get will help, because at the end of the day we are a poor team and we do need all the assistance we can get. The German Grand Prix here at Munich. Friday practice, and we are now here to set up the cars. Once again, I think I'll skip through the majority of practice because personally it's the weakest part of the game. It's not particularly fun, it's not particularly interesting. You just watch your drivers drive around for about 8 laps, sliding bars up and down. So if you guys would like to see that at some point, I can record a practice session, but for now I will play this off camera and I will come back to you on the results screen of practice. Here we are at the end of practice now, and as I'm sure you can see, it hasn't gone the best it could. We're not rock bottom like we were at the Black Sea, so obviously those brakes proving somewhat useful. But yet again, Domingo, who is our test reserve driver, has outpaced Andre around the track. This might have been due to the fact that he was on a shorter stint, so there was less fuel in the car, which can gain you a couple of attempts here and there. But at the Black Sea, he wasn't underfueled compared to Andre, so that is 2-0 for him. If Andre or Faith start to slip up, I might give him a race at some point. What do you guys think about that? Is he actually quick, or is it just a couple of flukes because it's in practice? Now, before we go into the race, you guys have got all the info I have got on screen. I will make some more tweaks to the cars on the grid, which again I won't show because it's not particularly interesting, but we came 12th and 13th at the Black Sea. We're now at Munich with improved brakes on Andre's car, so we're technically in a slightly faster car than we were at the Black Sea. So tell me, guys, down below in the comments section, where do you think we can genuinely get these cars to come at this Grand Prix? And let's see if anyone can actually get a correct prediction. Now, my prediction, and I don't know if you'll agree, is that we might come, I'm gonna say, Andre 14th and Faith down in 18th. That's my guess for this race. Let's see how close we can actually get to my self-set targets. So, lights out and away we go, as Martin Brundle would say, into turn 1. I will try to commentate this first lap the best I can. Now, out of turn 1 and 2, we are in 9th and 10th, so it's not the worst. Make it 10th and 11th now. Onto the back straight, and it looks like poor Faith is going to get swamped by the faster car. If Andre can hold 10th for a couple of laps as he comes into this forest section, he might be on with a chance of that 14th prediction. Now, the best thing I can do is just let these guys push for these first couple of laps, try and get some temperature into their tyres and just let them settle in, as Faith has dropped pretty much down to the back of the pack as expected. I will update you as things occur. Just entering into lap 5, and just a quick update, guys. It's been an absolute disastrous first couple of laps. Gomes has dropped all the way down to the back after what I believe was a mistake. I didn't actually see what happened. And Faith, who's on the technically slower stint, has got in front of him and is actually pushing ahead into this forest section of the cars in front, because the slower cars have now all been pushed to the back. So it's time we can actually make up some places now, as Andre has let himself through, but that's pushed Faith back into 20th. Not good teamwork, guys. Hopefully that won't come between them. Faith will be pitting very, very soon for just fuel, as we're double stinting these mediums just to try and give us some sort of advantage. But with the slower cars at the back of the grid now, we might be able to make it some spots, as Faith onto the back straight battles away with, once again, she who I cannot pronounce. I will keep you guys updated as we run close to Faith's first stop. Car update, lap 7 as we go once again into the Narnia section of the track. Faith is due to pit this lap. So she will double stint these mediums, try and run these to about lap 15 now. But the plan is that if she can run long into this race and make one less change when it comes to tyres, then fingers crossed she might just make up some positions when it comes to the second stop and jump a few of the slower cars that are in and around our speed. Just a quick update onto Andre too. He is battling away with She Who Cannot Be Said, who is coming into the pits, and them Bele and Valdez of the ZR teams, who, if you recall from the last episode, are not a quick team. We've got a chance to take points from them to potentially outpace them on certain tracks that will fit the eventual strengths our cars might get, which, since it's cheaper to do brakes and suspensions, those are the tracks we will really push on. Tracks like the track we are on right now. I will come back to you guys after Andre has stopped, and I will see you then. Lots of cars in the pits now. Andre hasn't stopped yet, but he has jumped up to 9th, and I've put him onto maximum attack just to try and take advantage of this bit of clean air that he will have. But I will have to bring him in earlier than I wanted to, because he's not been particularly kind to his softs whilst he's been on maximum attack. With 20 laps to go, the mediums won't quite make that, so I think we're going to have to go back onto soft tyres, run for 10 laps, and then pit again in 10 laps time for a third set of softs, and really let him push these softs as far as he can with the technically faster car that he has got. Excellent news. It looks like the pit stop has worked out in Andre's favour. He's jumped up to 14th, and he is now ahead of both ZRT cars, who are currently our main rivals in the championship. On to lap 15 now, and a little bit of bad news for Andre. He's dropped down 2 spots despite being on the faster compound, and it's not looking great for us right now. Fingers crossed as the cars in front battle, and as their mediums start to really fall apart towards the end of their stints, Andre can make up a bit more time. He is looking faster through these twistiest sections, but the faster corners are not treating him too well so far. We will keep an eye on him. He's still got about 5 more laps left in his stint before he goes on to the second pair of softs, and Faith is into the pits for a fresh set of mediums. She will be free stopping. She will have to stop again, but she is underfueled once more just to try and squeeze a couple more tenths out of that car. And now she has to try and run these mediums to the end of the race now. We aren't predicted rain, we aren't predicted any changes, and the only thing that will really change our strategy for this German Grand Prix would be a safety car, which, I mean, somebody would have to crash, which would guarantee we don't come last. So fingers crossed for a bit of luck in the full send racing camp, and let's just try and clinch a few more positions as Gomes goes into 15th place. There are stops to be made as Melo has just had to come in for repairs. Now, if you recall, he was the driver that crashed out at the Black Sea, so that gives Faith a chance to catch up to the back of him. But as you can see, the strategy not working too well for Faith so far, but she will have a quicker stop than everybody else who has still got a stop. Oh, drama! On the start of lap 20, there is a yellow flag in Sector 1. Marchetta of Octane has binned it into Turn 1, which is a place we don't really see too many crashes. And that means he is out of this Grand Prix. And it means that we are now off of the back of the grid, guaranteed. In other updates, Chu of the Chinese team has just pitted, and that has put Faith right onto his back wing. A chance for her to potentially overtake him. But I think Chu will now run till the end of the race. But Faith is underfueled, so she'll be a few temps faster. Fingers crossed she can chase him down and get 18th place. Halfway through lap 21, it is Andre up in 8th place, and Faith, unfortunately, still dead stone last down in 19th. Andre now just coming through the forest section, about to come into the pits on extremely low fuel. I've had to put him into fuel saving mode. He is on 0.2, not 0.01. He is now technically out. But I am bringing him into the pits to end on a pair of softs, in which I will let him push that car as fast as he can, and I will fuel him for only 7 laps. Final lap now, guys, and Andre did overtake this person who I can't say. If there's anybody who can tell me how to say, I'll assume, Vannonen's name, please do tell me. But we overtook Vannonen because they came into the pits. But Gomes, unfortunately, again, is just going to be shy of enough fuel, despite fuel saving, which means he will drop down to 18th place, and we will finish rock bottom of the German Grand Prix, save for Cheddar Crash. Faith has already finished because she was a lap down, and it's not been a great weekend for us, but we will pick ourselves up for, I believe, what is the Italian Grand Prix at not Monza. And that's a track where in the past with other teams I've had some success at, so fingers crossed we can make something work. But as you can see, the free stop did not serve Faith well at all. She actually didn't even run the full length because she was lapped. Andre, on his more aggressive strategy, once again hasn't paid off like it did at the Black Sea. So we come dead stone last. We do pick up, I believe, 3 points for the constructors. But if we come into constructors, I believe we actually picked up 5 points. We're now rock bottom where we were predicted to come. We're only a few points off of the 2 teams above us, who are our main rivals, especially ZRT Autosport. They are not a fast team. So to be only 6 points off them after an absolute disaster of a Grand Prix here in Germany, I will take that, I guess. Next up is Italy, and it's a track that I'm a bit stronger at personally. It's a track that I like, so fingers crossed we can pick up a few points there and try and re-overtake ZRT or the Chinese Dragon team. But that is all from the German Grand Prix and Full Send Racing. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, comment, sub for more, and please wish us more luck in the Italian Grand Prix, which will come very, very soon. I've been Aaron. This has been Motorsports Manager, and from me and Full Send Racing, I bid you farewell.